Isn't that just more of a culture shock thing?
I mean, honestly, it's one.
Or a
that's
PSA?
certainly one way to have a PSA. Welcome everybody to session 54 of season 2 of Forgotten Genesis, also known as the 6-year streamiversary.
It's 6 years. What? It's today?
Yes.
You started in March, right?
No.
Or did you start in January?
Not campaign-iversary. Streamiversary.
Oh, okay. Well, how's your anniversary, Joe?
Please stop messing with it.
Also the 5-year, I believe, affiliate anniversary. So there's that.
Sorry, my device is gonna restart, so you're gonna see me gone for like 10 seconds while it resets. I'm back.
You didn't leave. Oh, now she's leaving.
She's frozen on a side eye.
Yeah, I thought she said I am back, not I'll be back. I'm like, well, didn't leave yet.
Either way, it's the streamiversary. Been gone for 2 weeks because I've been feeling like shit. Some neurological episodes, some pain episodes, some migraine episodes. Everything's been fantastic. By the way, Vanestra, we do have a tab called Screenshot Gore exactly for that. With my old camera, I believe I filled up a good and got into the double digits with how many of them just decided to eat themselves. Just from my camera alone. And there we go. All right, she's disconnected. She will reconnect. Things are good. And of course, as mentioned before, welcome back to session 54. Forgotten Genesis Season 2. The streamiversary. There have been a number of things that have happened. 2 weeks of utter chaos on this end. Very limited time spent at work, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. All the same, I hope everybody's 2 weeks have been at least relatively okay, if not relatively fruitful. Couple of things have gone well on this end, couple of things have gone sour. Hopefully, all in all, maybe things will just get stable. We're getting into the cold part of the year, even after the winter solstice, because over here in this part of the country, things get colder after the winter solstice before spring kicks in. And case in point, it is 5 degrees outside. And it's bound to just get colder than that pretty quickly.
Stay safe, my man. That sounds deadly.
It's been negative 18 outside of that window before. So we have a heater in the basement pointed straight at our pipes. So there's that. It's 5 degrees Fahrenheit, not even Celsius. But hey, it means all I have to do is stick a can out the window for 20 minutes and suddenly it's brilliantly imbibable.
How much is 5 degrees Fahrenheit and Celsius?
In non-freedom units.
That's negative 15 Celsius, by the way, Vanestra.
Vinestra said, so below freezing.
Oh yeah.
Well below freezing.
Yeah, 30 degrees Fahrenheit is basically freezing
32.
temperatures. 32. excuse me.
32 is freezing.
So, as you get below that, you get, well, into some really fun territory. Either way, we are significantly colder right now than California is, and I wish that there was comedic irony in that. Should anybody
Isn't
in my
California famously hot?
famously, however, they have in the last week and a half or so, about 2 weeks, had the worst fire they've ever had in their history.
Oh yeah, that forgot about that.
So, should anyone in a small portion of my audience, despite my begrudgings about California and the way it's influenced the prices in various other states, should any of you have been displaced due to those fires, I do hope you are safe, I hope you are comfortable, and I hope that you are somewhere cooler and at least safer.
Preferably somewhere with snow.
There might be snow here, though I think it's going to be a little bit more north, closer to Houston than here.
We already have some. It's snowing.
You guys don't get snow, you guys just get a layer of ice.
We got
Once
snow,
every
Joe.
like 7 years, we get a sheet of snow about like this.
No, we got at least a foot this year. Boop boop boop.
That's
Well,
cute.
you're much farther north than I am, so
True.
We're
I'm right
no.
up against the Rockies. So,
us fucking coastal asswipes don't get all that.
yeah.
You get the nice, beautiful, like temperate weather where it's
I
like
fucking
don't
hate
really
it
get
here.
snow.
It's too humid.
You take a wrong turn on a dirt road and you end up in a place that looks like this. This was an actual picture I took.
You
So-
don't want humidity. You live here.
I didn't ask to live here. This is where I was born.
No. Not in Houston. Not in
Humidity
the lower
will
parts of
kill me.
Texas.
Although, ironically, I
In
think
the-
I need
in the
humidity.
area
I
in which
ended
we
up
live,
falling
it is
asleep at
the
about 6
desert.
a.m. last night due to a very, very bad and continuous nosebleed. So, but either way, the pre-stream is
Why
over,
do
and I
you
think I'm
think-
talking to just wake my brain up. So,
Wake up.
Morgan.
grab a brush and put a little makeup.
Wake up. There's a little brush to put on makeup. 1, 2. You can tell I'm in a mood.
I don't think you trust in my self-righteous reason we had to rename the song to Chop Suey.
What do you see down the the can?
You know what's weird is it was the way you were doing your tone. All I could hear was like 1, 2, 5, 4.
5, 4.
Two different bands, actually, although they had a similar sound profile on that song alone. It's a parody of Drowning Pool. Bodies by Drowning Pool, specifically.
1, I can count 1, 2, I can count 2.
What comes after 3?
I can
I can only count to 4.
Man.
I have killed many a fly in the last 2 days. Can we please start D&D? Before I
You know-
start smacking things.
Vinestra said, so shall we begin the recaps and question?
I think that will be absolutely necessary. Now, luckily, I do have one note here from the end of last session saying that this session will be starting at the end of day. Now, that does remind me, I gotta pull up the other browser package.
My last note says Angel and Piper are taking
A nap.
Aiko back for surgery.
That's
Oh
right.
yeah. Can I make Piper's roll?
Because of the unborn child trauma that is being triggered, and I think there was actually something else. Wasn't there something else? Leaking. Oh, right. Leaking brain cells from her eyes. Yeah, that.
It might be worth checking with Amber if she's willing to do some text communication for this particular scene. Would have happened normally, and she would have been able to attend if not for the clusterfuck that last week became.
Let me make a call. Hold on. I'm gonna mute myself over here, and I'm gonna do the thing. Okay? Hold on.
Okay.
Last thing Zenon was doing, just accepted the mission from Angel. They're just gonna go talk to Vanessa.
There we go. Calendar restored itself, and now let me scroll on down. Okay, I believe we were on the end of day on Atticast 2nd. Coming into the 3rd. Really ought to write the month and date down as well, because there are celestial events that can happen that are significant. There we go. Okay. While that call is going through, how's everybody's 2 weeks been? Middling. Uneventful.
Man.
Uneventful, yeah.
Vinestra said, "It's been."
Yeah, pretty much.
Fair enough.
My college classes started, but like so far there's only been like some like introductory assignments, you know, tell us about yourself type of things.
Easing you in.
And that's not due until tomorrow when I did it like a week ago.
Ah.
So.
I guess in
Oh,
other...
Joe, I'm supposed to be running the surgery.
Oh, you...
We're
okay.
running it in her space. Yep.
Running it
because
under her.
I'm the one with the more steady hand.
Okay.
Okay. Gotcha. Cool. So she clarified that?
I asked... No. I asked Griffin at the end of last session for anything on brain surgery because I was teaching Piper how to do surgery.
Okay. Cool. All right.
Let's activate Windows watermark. It's gonna give me an aneurysm.
Yeah. All right. Fantastic.
Buffett.
Did you say Wobbuffet?
Yes.
Okay. I'm a little confused.
I love that ADD.
Sorry. Amber doesn't have her phone on her because she's in mass, so...
Okay.
She's at a Saturday mass today because she hasn't gone to go to mass for like almost 3 months, but at their church.
Twist, Amber's been
Vinestra
a
said,
Seventh-day Adventist
"In
the
a
whole
mass
time.
of what?"
I think it's a religion thing.
Mass is like going to church for an hour.
She's actually joined via osmosis the rest of the Ambers in the world. They are now the Amber Prime.
The Amber conglomerate.
Please, God, no! Please, God, no! That is so terrifying. All I can see are a million. Please, no.
Welcome
no.
to the
I
United
have a
States of
cousin named Amber.
America.
No. We're not saying that because I have a cousin named Amber, and that is a completely different monster there. Holy
They are now
crud,
one. This has been a horror campaign the whole time, didn't you remember?
Bro, someone clip it.
I have an image for that.
No.
You have an image for that, you say?
By all means, clip it, because now the audio is working properly. Actually, it's a great time to double check.
Can we get a recap, please?
I mean, you're usually the one with the eidetic memory. It's supposed to start with you, so by all means, Miss, I just broke your brain. Let's start with you.
Manestra and Nicodemus went to not Merkhest. They went to Sharni to go and see Angel's child and get her to come back, and then they found out that her person was dead and that basically the stupid ass Abishai had basically replaced her person and killed Nyx, the most amazing beholder that ever existed.
Which Nyx was then already in the process of being revived because you are in excess of level 20 and run a city. Yes, you have clerics on your payroll that can revive people.
Considering the Whisper should be full of them, considering what happened to all of our people.
It is not a common profession, but you have a fuckload of money in your coffers. So, finding people in that profession with enough money becomes a lot less difficult.
We also did kind of replace some of those houses of like noble houses that where nobody was in it with a bunch of large temples.
Yep.
We had to create a temple district
Sharni
either in the
has
second level.
very much kind of become an Underdark Mecca, a little bit. Minus the whole Lothian worship, because Lothia is not strictly a thing here. In this setting, anyway.
I understand that, but technically there is a thing to Loth just for Charlotte to feel good about herself.
Yeah, because you entreated upon Faerunian deities. You're crossing the settings wires, Megan. What are you doing?
It's not my fault. It's just something that has happened in my life, and life is really difficult right now.
Hello, everybody. We're going to turn this PS2 into a Super Nintendo emulator. What the fuck are you doing?
I mean, you did get me a Retron for my birthday, so just
True,
saying.
very true. Worth it. Have you been playing on that lately, or is it sat in a corner in a box?
That is ready to play for stream. So that's gonna be a thing in this next couple of weeks.
Hell yeah.
You should feel proud of yourself now, because now it has actually got its own little shelf thing that's gonna sit on.
So what's the question?
Oh shit, that's right. We do those. Hold
Jesus
on.
Christ.
It's been a
Vanessa
minute.
said, and the recaps.
Can I pull one, Joe, please?
Let me roll to see if I
Wait,
find
but when
something we haven't landed on yet. And if I land on something that we've landed on, then you may pull.
Yes. I have many cards. It's covered. Everything is so organized in my room.
Okay, I know for a fact we have absolutely pulled that one. So,
Your turn, Megan.
Yay!
landed straight on a question about what stereotypical archetype is your cat. We've done that. I think we did that like 2 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago, actually.
If you couldn't, okay. If you could commit any one crime and get away with it, what would you do? What would your character do? And who would you want to come with you is the secondary part of that question.
Well, as the DM, my answer is mass genocide and all of you.
Damn it.
In other words, the you guys fucked up quest line. You failed. Now the game's about damage control.
Okay.
Would you
So,
return again?
and then we found out that Aiko is had a lot of damage had done to her, and it was really scary because we went through some brain stuff, and then everything got real bad. So that's all I got. And then Angel had to lay down the law, and Jamie is going to be heading back with her now revived lover, and get some type of protection put on her so she can have a break.
Yep. All right, 2 inspiration die.
Oh, and we talked to gods, and we talked to Geysir.
And you crying?
Huh?
Vinestra said, Jamie's one lover is a corpse.
Not anymore. You got brought back. Hey, God.
You got de-raisinified.
You bring.
Oh, okay. So, my crime would be,
Your answer can't be something that technically isn't a crime. It has to be objectively fucked up.
Oh, it has to be objectively fucked up.
if I could sneak into the into the wherever that crazy lady is who wants to kill me, right? Sneak up behind her and slowly peel her skin from her body as she screams at least 13 times, considering how many years of oppression that she put Urkbach under after putting her son with that woman. I would basically make her let pill.
Be thankful the Geneva Convention no longer exists in this world, because magic throws that out the window.
And I would take Nicodemus with me. There you go.
Yeah. If I were doing
How
a pseudo-modern
objectively
setting, I
Vinestra
would
said,
make magical Geneva
and
Convention.
Violet.
That too.
I would like to have Ezekrin come with her and make that hag's life very difficult for a very long time until she slowly bled out on the carpet.
Solid. All right. You get your inspiration.
And Palestine would not be able to come with her because it might break his oath. That would be bad.
Mm-hmm.
I would specifically want Ezekrin. She would specifically want Ezekrin in her crazy situation.
Okay. Two inspiration die for that. On to Avery.
Heresy.
Heresy.
Your crime would be heresy.
Yes, fuck the gods. Not you, Angel. I mean, unless you want to.
Fuck the gods or fuck the gods.
Vinestra said,
about one specific
yes.
god with giant boobs.
I mean, we're talking about all the gods and goddesses.
Would find you their
And
tastes.
Fuck them.
That's so wrong. Who would you take with you? That's the other part of the question.
Aiko.
There you go.
I thought that was self-explanatory.
the godly orgy.
So perturbed considering my character right now.
Oh, no. It wouldn't be the godly orgy. It would simply be the divine comedy.
Of violence.
This is not, what do you call it? This is not Midsummer Night's Dream. We're not turning somebody into a donkey.
No, that's fuck the
Don't.
Feywild, Megan.
It's still bad. It's still bad. All of y'all.
Which also means one way or another, somebody gets some ass. It may just mean a guy gets turned into a donkey, but that's what it is.
I'm more and more perturbed by this statement.
And my recap, I have... The group learns that Aiko lost an early unborn child to the Shigarath Shigoth?
Show.
How do you say it? Shogoth.
To Shiggy,
Yes, that's I'm calling it now. Shiggy. That's what I'm calling.
Worcestershire
That's the name.
sauce. There you go. Worcestershire sauce.
She lost an unborn child to Shiggy. We also learned that any mention of the unborn child triggers aggressive nosebleeds and leaking of brain cells from her eyes. Angel and Piper are taking her back for surgery. I also learned to differentiate celestials and find who they follow through surface level telepathic inspection.
Yep. Very good. You get your 2 inspiration die onto Neseo, technically Xanon.
Yes.
Fucking Shiggy.
Recap. Let's see. It's a bit blended together. Let's see. Found out Balana was a lesser celestial / reborn something. Blood sorcerer. Let's see. Did some training for Angel's Bar. Oh yeah, Angel spoke to Yasir and his kids. Offered me to become a knight for him. Angel asked me for a favor. To travel to the Velix ruin in the Underdark. And find adamantine dragon and a chrome dragon. And the gnoll, I forgot his name, is coming with us.
Oh, you know it. You know what?
And then-
Dunjo.
Then I left to go find Vanessa.
Okay, solid recap, and now your crime.
Crime. Simple. Kill one of the dragon gods and usurp their place.
So same as Avery. Heresy.
I would take whoever wants to join me.
Love to see you try that one.
All right, allow me to adjust my notes and turn this setting into Warhammer 40k.
Nope.
Heresy.
Joe, I just thought of this rad idea that's too late to implement now, but I have to share it.
Vinestra said, I prefer Age of Sigmar.
That's fair.
Age of Sigma? Sorry.
Sigmar.
Yeah, I read it. What if, like, instead
All
of
problems
like, a
can be
surgery,
solved by
it was
pushing
like
a button.
It was like a dungeon crawl inside of Aiko's head to fix her. Like, that would be kind of badass.
Well, the attempt has not yet been started, so you'll see.
Do a lot of work. I messaged Amber. She messaged me back.
Amber messaged in general, said that you can roll for surgery.
Question was, what would I do if I could get away with it?
And who would you take with you?
Well, besides Alana and Ravik, there'd be an open invitation.
Fair enough.
I wouldn't mind if they replaced someone on a different ring. So I got a couple of places I need to put some shit.
Enver is off limits until the campaign in Enver is taking place.
This is not a. Is it? No, Yalen's not off.
Uyelin's your shit. Do what you will.
I know. See the 3 main gods, though. I'm gonna try to do that. You're gonna have to actually do
you're gonna have to try the prime route. Actually fight them as a whole deity.
On subject,
Aha!
the crime, and who would you take with you, Venestra?
All right. Oh, this stuff is
Vinestra said, refer to other channel for recap and V has a specific list which I won't mention here, but heresy too.
Heresy. Fair enough. All right.
Okay.
So, 3/4 of the currently present party are all down with
Though is it
heresy.
heresy if she doesn't consider them gods?
I mean,
I think that's the definition of heresy, isn't it?
all variability. Many things are possible
Heresy is
if
such
you
a
are willing
dumb
to
crime.
sacrifice the weakness of flesh. Anyway.
I got permission, Joe.
All right. I would have preferred to get this done last week with Amber present, but I was feeling way too fucked up.
Why? Who's also feeling fucked up?
Excuse me.
You don't remember? She did say she wasn't feeling.
I think at least 3 of us were feeling royally fucked.
Okay, so what do I need to do?
So, that recap in place. As night hangs present overhead on Zaria, here in the country of Kirin. A lightless sky, if not for the present stars. You have... Actually, I think you went to the Feywild, excuse me. Am I correct? You went to
We
Capeos
didn't
Medicus
go
for
to
this?
the...
Just the pocket dimension.
I think we went to the pocket dimension because I needed some of the stuff that was involved there, and we had to get more needles. I think that Piccolo took a 2-hour trip to get all the things we needed, though, because I had to do prep, because I had to study. I
Okay,
needed a
right.
couple hours to study that shit.
Right. Okay. And I believe you were...
Oh, and
Excuse
I got Earthbach came back.
Yeah.
Earthbach is going to be my number 2 at the helm for that.
And
In
you
case
already
Avery
did your
would like
roll
to-
last session, if I recall? Just for the
Yeah.
research side of all of it. Okay.
I did, I had a natural 20 for the research. Because I wrote that down. That's written down here.
All right. Now, before things get started, I'm just going to ask, kind of half above the table here. Brick,
Yeah.
do you want to be present for the surgery that is being done up on your partner?
We went over this
Think
last
y'all
time.
are
Yes, I'm gonna
terrible.
be there, and I'm gonna be using calm emotions
That's right.
since
okay.
she's gonna be awake.
It's all kind of sort
She's
of
gonna
coming
have
back to me.
to
All right. And then also, just for the sake of housekeeping as well, proximity to this event, let's see, Neseo and Venestra both, I think, are in Sharnia, right? They were heading out there with Bruce?
They're heading to go with Bruce. No.
I haven't talked to him.
Vanessa hasn't agreed to it yet.
Okay.
Like Angel just asked me,
Vinestra said,
and then I just
we
left.
had to talk to that guy first.
Right, okay.
Yep.
All right. So then general
As well
proximity.
for interviews.
Yes. Right. Right. Yeah. Okay. So then, based off of the structure of the castle, hold on. It is a pocket dimension, so it is a layer of separation still away from this surgical event. Nonetheless, oh,
If not, if
actually,
it's supposed to be done in Capitolus Medicus, we can do it in Capitolus Medicus. But I don't want to. I didn't want to go too far because we're in Keating, right next to like, some healing magic. But the problem, she wanted us to go to Capulus Medicus because it would give us an accelerated healing. But if we take her to Capulus Medicus, coffee is literally floating in the air, which was my argument. So I wanted to have the DMs be input
I have a question
there.
for the group here. Everybody.
Okay.
Yes.
High or low, or use the previous collective average.
What was the previous?
Last session I had you guys roll. I didn't tell you why.
I don't remember the number.
Yeah, we don't remember the number.
All of you, or at least most of you, rolled relatively high.
Okay.
I vote the previous roll.
I guess we can go with the previous roll. I just rolled a 99.
Let's go with the previous one.
Vinestra said, previous to shore.
Okay. The average was 69.6 between everybody's collective
Nice.
rolls, which rounded up to 70.
It's not bad.
The roll I just rolled on this end was 71.
Oh, good. I don't know what it means, though. You're not telling us what it means.
We're
You're just saying the
gonna find
thing.
It sounds bad, whatever it is.
I think it's good because it matched.
So, actually, this is worth changing the music. This is a little whimsical for the intensity of brain surgery.
I'm listening to Sunburst by Tobu.
Yeah, but I wanted the DM's opinion on whether we should go to Capulus Medicus for the surgery or just stay in Shawnee for the surgery. Because
You guys already set it
better.
up for...
Vinestra said, sunshine and lollipops intensifies.
You guys already set it up for the ballroom pocket dimension, which is still technically in Kirin, at least one layer separated from it.
Okay, good, because we needed to keep some of the healing magic from happening while we were doing it, which means I need our clock there, so...
This is a little too intense for the vibe I'm going for. Let's go... Okay, creepy playlist I think will be... I mean, it's unnerving enough for something like this, I guess. So... Angel, Avery, and also technically, God, my brain just turned off. Also technically Piper, present in the room. Everything is slowly but surely getting prepped. The surgical field is being properly sterilized. Tools are being sterilized. Nerves are being appropriately pressed to avoid bad reactions from changelings. Angel, you're already very much an expert on many changeling pressure points. Something as intensive as active brain surgery on any type of mortal being is risky business. Exposing that sensitive, fatty mass of neurons. For a changeling, however, after you numb the area and begin to open her scalp, and very, very carefully cut open her skull, exposing the brain cap and the brain within. This is your first exposure outside of diagrams to a changeling brain. First exposure that it's very likely very few have seen a changeling brain alive when exposing themselves to it. It's a fascinating structure to look at. looks pearlescent in a way, almost like there's its own sort of aurora borealis passing through iridescently over the brain tissue. Like it shifts and is malleable. The ridges on the brain seem to themselves be in this sort of constant state of fluctuation.
Yeah.
Seems more rigid than a typical human brain, almost in some ways not dissimilar to a dolphin, but shrunken down. As you begin to push down toward where this rupture may have been present, most likely somewhere near the frontal lobe, trying very, very carefully with a needle to essentially search for the right area, employing magic where necessary to act essentially like a camera or an X-ray on the area to find the right spot. You eventually find this little packed collection of runes. You are raising your hand, yes? Fascist?
I would have started the surgery in the dark due to the fact that, changelings actually kind of can see in the dark.
That's fine.
A little bit better,
I made no
and
mention of the room being
because
well lit.
glowing mushrooms would have been the thing that would have lit in the space. And she would have used her magic goggles to be able to find the structure that she has in her bag from last season. Because I have magnification goggles.
Visibly
I don't get to use
finding
them
the
very often.
structure is the most minimally invasive part of this process. Now, as far as not damaging any brain tissue in attempting to approach it, this is where we are now casting aside at least Piper's assistant medicine and her passive skill bonus. I need you to
We
roll
also
me a
have
medicine
Earthblock
check.
in the room.
Yes, you do.
I have Earthblock in there because she's actually worked with the brains before. That's why I have Earthblock, because she's worked with changelings.
And Dirkbach is very, very carefully guiding you. Either way, given the bizarreness of this structure, nonetheless, and its constant movement. Roll me a medicine check.
Do you have expertise or proficiency in medicine?
I have expertise in... I have proficiency in medicine. I have expertise with torturous tools.
All right. So I can turn that proficiency into expertise.
That would be great. So that would give me a bonus to my plus 12.
That would give you an additional 7.
So it's a plus 19.
Check my D&D Beyond. Double check that I'm remembering that.
So I've got... If that's the case, I've got 19 plus 19 as a starting total, and with Amber's assistance, considering she's an assistant, let's roll for Am's. We've got a 17 plus her natural medicine roll, which is a 20-something.
So 38.
Until the spell ends, the creature doubles its proficiency bonus for ability checks.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
38.
Monster's skill, which is proficient, is an already benefiting from an effect.
As you slowly start to work the needle in. Naturally, I mean, because it's a moving brain, you do get some expected reactions. Muscles on Aiko's body twitching, shifting, and jolting just in reaction to basically someone poking a needle into her control center, so to speak.
Okay.
And then, with Piper's assistance, the needle makes contact with the runic mass. This is where that average of 70 kicks in. Aiko's psionic presence begins to rapidly grow and expand, pushing and pushing until the layers of barrier in this demiplane begin to crack and fray, Structures, hard lines, structures like wood and stone begin to twist and malform out of shape until everything themselves seem to almost mimic the patterns of neurons. Everyone's perception, even outside of this environment, slowly begins to twist as well. This wild, neurological, pulsing brain layered over everything that you are all standing around.
Would this be some kind of emotional response triggering this?
Doesn't seem
It would be a defense mechanism for the changeling brain. It sounds what it seems like.
In other
Because
words, I
is not-
can't soothe it with calm emotions.
You can certainly try. Calm emotions is already present, but
Oh, it is? Then I won't.
I believe you mentioned you were already casting it, if I recall.
Yeah, but I wasn't given the opportunity to, so I figured we were waiting for when she was.
I thought that you were already doing it. That's why she has her brain open
we
right
can
now.
say that we can say that I am. We can say that I was.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Because remember, I gave y'all rings that would also enhance calm emotions if y'all had it in active situation.
As this structure billows outward for all present, any firelight, mushroom light, or general sunlight present in the vicinity of the building slowly shifts to a soft, disconcerting, and present indigo glow in its color. A soft thrumming feeling that each of you can feel in your heads, like the light startings of a migraine right above your eye. A little light pulse. Not enough to fully distract, but enough to be aware.
Is Angel instantly into a migraine considering her situation?
Yes.
She's going to instantly have Urkbach grab from her bag one of those wrappers for migraines and stuff it in her mouth.
All right. Urkbach administers it. Given the quickness of this concoction, when you initially put it together, you are reduced back to that sort of subtle starting sensation that everybody else is dealing with. You notice one of Aiko's eyes roll back into her head as the needles kind of twist and pull deeper. Not having the easiest time seeing out of my right eye. Is that normal? As you notice, the iris is just gone and it's probably rolled back there somewhere.
Yeah, that's normal. That's normal, right, Angel? It's normal.
It's easy. It's normal because your nerves are going to be connected one space, and because of what is just pushed out of your brain, I need you to stay calm, okay?
Staying calm. I can't feel any of this, which is good.
That's what the nerve pinching was for, and that's why I had Urkbach show up. She looks over at Urkbach.
You also don't have pain receptors in your brain. I mean, I assume that it's the same for changelings.
For the most part,
Changelings
when you get them
have-
into a stable environment.
There's a spot in the brain that we talked about last season, Joe, where if I press it, it will eject any foreign object from the changeling body, no matter how rough it's going to be on her, and I can regrow the mass.
That is where the needles are actively pushing in.
So I can't get past this rune.
As you push toward it, it's interesting. Initially you're like slow going, being very careful, trying to ease your way closer to it and not, stab anything that isn't supposed to be stabbed. You've, when trying to help Nick, or even just during research and with, test specimens, getting close to a foreign mass that exists in a purely medical sense, you begin to usually feel some resistance, like you are beginning to step into something hard. But this almost feels like something is slowing you, pushing back, like the needle is dipping into something viscous and thick. like
Like
trying
when
to
we kept
jam
the
your
worm the last time?
no, more like trying to quickly jam your finger into cornstarch mixture. That sort of immediate and forceful, just kind of stop. That Newtonian kind of reaction.
Non-Newtonian.
Non-Newtonian, excuse
specifically.
me. The more you push in, the brighter those indigo lights everywhere in range for all of you seem to get. That light, migraine-like feeling starts to turn ever so slightly, like into an itch just barely under that part of your skulls.
I have a question. Is the baby's bone lodged in the brain from what happened, or is it the scar tissue happening from what happened? Because we're going to have the scar tissue from above and below is going to be taken care of.
This does not seem like it's a physical presence of a corpse. This isn't like Athena died in Zeus's skull. This
No,
is
we're talking about spirit. Because sometimes in the changeling bodies, it's become solid before.
right. In this case, you are still pushing against this collection of sort of almost impacted runes. And looking in an arcane sense, and just as well for just about anybody, at least in range with Aiko with See Beyond the Veil, you're beginning to see that sort of same, as she's pushing in more and more visible, that same sort of almost broken astral pattern, similar to what Avery is dealing with. And yet there's something in there that is unlike what Avery is handling. Between each crack in that field of energy, it's like there's something fleshy, tendrillous, latching onto and pulling against each shard of glass, trying to pull it together in a disorganized, discordant mess.
Oh, shit.
There's a ring to astral forms often, especially in regards to the glass-like nature here, where they seem to have an almost resonant tone, melodious in some cases with some people, rhythmic with others. And this seems very much to give off the tone of glass scraping against glass. Broken sound that you would hear just after someone sings just too high a pitch, and a water-filled champagne glass shatters due to the frequency. Constant, overbearing, angry. The indigo grows brighter. The brain-like twists in the geometry of the world around you grows more intense, more and more. Do you feel like you're almost in some dreamlike way present inside of a brain? Each and every one of you. For those of you with resistances to magic, it is not very clearly not a charm, as this is not some illusory shift in your perception. Something very real and very wrong is happening.
The creature you described pulling shards of glass into Aiko. What did it seem illithid?
Roll me an Arcana check.
Or even a history check?
Either or, really.
But I'll do Arcana.
Can I hear it? Yeah.
You can see it very well as well, yes, with your See Beyond the Veil.
No. But with being able to understand deep speech, I would know if it's illithid
hearing
because
any
I'm
presence
touching it.
of language. There's nothing being spoken.
Anything with illithid, anything, whispers, stupid
Right.
constant cacophony of stupid.
Right. There is not that present. There is not that mind-numbing, ever-present, almost dissonant whisper.
I'll still roll
coming
Arcana to see if I can
naturally
glean
from
what it was.
Illithid.
That's a total of 17.
Total of 17.
Yes.
Similar to Angel's realization, there's a hallmark to mind flayers, really, and beings adjacent to that, with this sort of whispering, ever-present, sort of maddening collection of consciousness that seems to almost radiate off of it when trying to connect with their minds, when trying to be near them. Hell, being near a Velik's coin, it radiates off of those. That's not present here. It seems more direct, more controlled, and less
I have a question,
angry
DM.
in an alien sense, but in a very upfront, observing, animalistic, and hungry sense. It seems angry.
I have a question, DM. We've heard stories of changelings disappearing on caravans that I've been picking up orphans on.
Mm-hmm.
Is it the same description from those that are left alive?
There was a mention of a sound of broken glass. Very good.
I'm letting you know that, Avery, you sense an anger in Angel that is not bridled.
We can't have that in the surgery room.
That
There's
realization,
another calm emotion saying your way.
that note of history, as calm emotions reaches into you and does help you collect yourself, that realization and that mental memory peeking in seems to interact with the reality-twisted brain that you all seem to be standing within. You see a neuron-like shape fire out of Angel's head, and joining the mess of the sounds of the broken glass, there's this almost xylophone-like trill.
Question: is there
So
any way I
what came out of my head?
A neuron sort of electric shock of a shape as that sort of putting two and two together shows up and joins the rest of the brain structure, warping the reality around you.
Can I snap my question now?
Go right ahead.
Good.
Is there? It seems to me like whatever is causing this last thing, it does seem to be individual. Like it's more like it's possessing or using Aiko as a host. Is there any way I could psionically expel it?
Remember we had this discussion last time. The reason that you couldn't was because it would eat you too. That's what it wants. It wants to eat you.
And you begin to hear
Okay.
that.
No, I see what's happening right now. This is the Shigaroth core eating her.
Shogath core.
Right.
That object on your neck does not seem to be directly reacting to this, actually. Beyond defensively forming a structure around you personally. And that sort of xylophone-like trill begins to join, and it sounds mechanical in its own right, in a way. Rhythmic, melodic, broken and out of tune. You remember on occasion dipping into some of the more manic nightmares of the modern world, for example, that Griffin used to have. The sounds of a broken merry-go-round. Sounds of countless different children's lullabies seeping in, reaching over, shattering, breaking, all out of tune. Laughter. Another shock out of your brain as familiarity seeps in. A mocking childhood sing-songy tune. As your mother was having a heart attack.
She's going to grab onto it, and she's going to do the thing that she wanted to do. She's going to grab into that fleshy part of it. She's going to pull at least a little bit of it free because she knows she can pull through the brain and heal the brain afterwards.
You're going to pull on the structure.
I'm going to hold on to the structure, and I'm going to take... I'm looking at Aiko, and I say, Aiko, I need you to trust me. I need you to tell me you trust me right now.
She doesn't respond. Her other eye rolls into the back of her head. Veins begin to bulge on her
You don't get to
irises.
take her with you. You don't get to take them with you anymore. And this is the point, Avery, because you're sharing a brain with Angel, this is the point where you start to figure out that this thing has been eating changelings all over the freaking realm.
Oh, sweet Jesus.
The sound gets louder and louder and more intense. Those within the rest of Evergreen Manor begin to hear it. The sound of
where
a
is
broken circus.
where is the pinpoint? Every single broken music box has a gear that makes a sound. When it's misturned, I'm going to listen for the gear along these pieces of glass.
Roll me a perception check. As I continue describing the shift in the scene.
Again, if you're proficient and not expertise, I can turn it into expertise.
I'm proficient. I'm not expertise. I don't have expertise.
Then yes, you do get expertise. I have another spell slot for that.
Okay. Then I'll roll again for that.
You don't need to roll again. You just need to double your proficiency.
Okay, I rolled a natural 20.
Oh.
So I have lucky.
Okay.
And this is going to add to the roll. It's going to give me more points. So
I'm going to finish my description, and then I will get to what that natural 20 does for you. And for Aiko. The sound swell. Bad timing.
Yeah, no kidding.
I gotta take this one. It's...
Okay.
Doctor,
the only reason I know that sound exists in those stupid music boxes is because if you try to wind them, it has a hank sound. Hank sound. Like if you listen really closely, it's like it's metal running against metal. It's like, pardon me, but I think I'm broken.
Where's fucking Angry Birds coming from?
My brain. Ow.
Okay, I have all the appropriate tags on my stream. So, the doctor call ended in about 30 seconds. It was just basically reminding me that I have an appointment on June 30th. And then that was immediately followed up by a very, very clearly drunk call from my brother, who asked me if I knew what docking was, and then went on a drunken tirade explaining it in way too vivid a detail.
Oh, I already know what that is.
And I told him I'm already well aware, I wish I didn't know. And then he started to go into an umbrella analogy, and it's like, dude, hang up already. Christ on a cracker.
I know what that means.
Can we move on, please? Can we get out of this? Can we?
What he was describing was less docking and more extension cord, but I digress. Don't look it up. I can see your typing. You're gonna scar yourself, Brick. Don't.
Don't, Brick, not a safe. No.
I will put simply, it is in regards to a...
Got it.
Vinestra said, making the Foreskins connect.
Yep, yeah, I got it. Thanks.
extension cord. Anyway.
Mm-hmm. What are we talking about? Moving on.
I don't know. My brother went on a drunk rant and gave me that, and now he sent me a text. What the fuck is he texting me about?
Don't look at it!
Don't look at it!
It isn't. It says sent one image. I'm not gonna touch that shit. Because, and I quote, I had to explain this to a relative for a game. What? Wait, hold on. He's playing a game, was probably dared to explain it to a relative,
yep.
and therefore told it to me.
There's
And
your
I doubt he
back.
expected to
Okay.
hear, like, I know what it is, man. My brother, ladies and gentlemen.
That is totally a drinking game, dear. Explain docking to a relative.
It's like I'm
Can we try something
aware.
else now? Can we get?
No,
let's
you
get back
sent
in.
me
Let's get
another
back
one.
into. Don't listen to it. Don't listen to it. Don't listen to it.
Oh,
Don't listen to it, or I promise you, I will go get the
I
not
promise
safe for
you,
work
his
cards
girlfriend
that I
has
got from her.
objectively improved him. That said, when he gets drunk, he turns into who we all know he is. So there's...
I'm going to let you know that if you keep this, I'm going to go get the thing of Ka over there with all of the really, really, really weird things from D&D, and I'm going to read one of them out loud.
So back to the tension in the game about the creepy
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah. We're getting ready to finish your description.
God damn it, Jake. All right.
We lost his thought process.
Yeah, that's one hell of a way to drive it off a fucking highway.
Okay, did we manage to find the kink at the kink?
He was talking quite a bit about a kink
No,
that I
that
was
kind
not
of-
expecting. But I digress.
That we're not. No.
I did not expect to hear that shit out of his mouth. Now,
I did.
on topic. Creepy things. As the world begins to shift and twist, your grandmother in Castle Mochizuki, you can hear her groan in pain and confusion as tendrils begin to extend out of the stone walls for those able to see it. And then you twist the needles around the structure. That bundle of runes.
You can't reach out of the
rip
structure.
it free. As you do
Rip
so,
what free?
remind me, you said you were trying to pull it out, right?
No, I'm listening for where they. If they're pieces of glass, you said they're pieces of glass. Yes.
It was the analogy for the type of sound, as well as the visual.
Okay, that's. You said musical. You
Yes.
gotta be very clear and descriptive, Joe. It's gotta be clear in descriptions. Is it a music box, or is it glass?
It's glass.
Because that's two different descriptions.
It's glass that is giving off these broken mechanical musical tones.
It's glass chimes. You can think of it like that.
Sure.
Can I hear the off button? Like the weird kinky noise when you turn the little stupid gear when you're making a music box.
Given your perception of your natural 20, which is where we were at, because now my brain's finally remembering where the fuck we were at because of this motherfucker.
Yeah. Or natural 20 plus fortify skill or whatever it's called.
So 34, I think.
Double whatever her proficiency is.
Yeah. 34 plus whatever her wisdom modifier is, which is 4? It's 38. I think.
Yeah, it'd be a 38. Well, it's as big as I can get, Joe. I can't get bigger.
That's how far I go.
No. You gave me double. I have a plus 6 to my perception now. With the dragon stuff invoked. So it'd be a plus 12 to my roll of natural 20 because you gave me that's just proficiency. That's not me having anything that's
Either
nice.
way, it's somewhere close to 40. That's all I'm going to bother with for the mental math right now. You listen for some structure in that messy, discordant pattern of noise and music, something that you can latch on to as a mechanism, as a means of shutting it off, as a means of shutting it away. And you can't help but focus on one repeated note. That cackle. At first like a whisper, the more you focus on it, the louder it seems to get, until you realize the louder it actually is, as the rest of you throughout throughout the castle can hear it. You latch onto it. The source of that sound, like you are latching onto a set of vocal cords with those small little needles.
Can I see it? Because I can hear it, can I see it?
Do you pull?
Is it in her brain? Or is it in the structure outside the brain?
It is in her brain. So do you pull?
I'm going to pinch it to see if the noise stops. And I am going to pull it with my claw. I'm going to use something I don't get to use very often, which is Dragon Claw, and I'm going to pull it free.
Okay, so Avery, you watch as Angel digs her claw into Aiko's brain.
This face exactly.
You watch as her back tenses up and her arms bend in ways that aren't right. And in changeling ways, that means the arm gets extra joints and starts to twist and contort into a horrific, you know those images of like a crumpled cartoon character. Apply unnervingly realistic anatomy to every little joint and discombobulated bend in that body.
You can hear through Angel's brain. You can hear through Angel's brain, Avery. The minute I pull this free, you can tell she's telling Urkbok this mentally. I need you to put the restoration spell as quickly as I pull this thing free. I want to know if I can get it all.
Roll me a medicine check.
I am going to imitate in my hand the light that comes from a Leyborn on my hand. I'm going to use Major Image. I'm going to cover my hand in the light that comes from a Leybourne.
Roll me a medicine check.
And attempt this thing out of the space. I want her safe. Natural 20. Holy shit. Holy shit.
Avery at this point has like his head on, like is holding Aiko's hand, has his forehead against.
As you, with all of your power and might, fight to wrench this thing free. Let me grab the snipping tool. For session art.
Okay. Waiting.
They're not invited. Don't you invoke their name.
DC here. What's next? What's next?
As you
What's your meter?
rip this mass of runes forth, it begins to rapidly unfold like a fleshy, clothy mess of an origami, growing limbs, bones, face, and teeth, as that brain structure that you are all standing within begins to twist into bone-like, Geiger-like structures in the visual. And there's that subtle, resonant, laughing, chuckling sound, now loud enough for honestly everyone to hear, twists into a
The restoration spell.
She's gonna use the restoration spell. She's got it in. It's a scroll, dude. She's got it fixed. She's getting that handled. This is what I'm gonna do, DM. I'm going to take. I have had this in my back pocket since the beginning of the season, so we're gonna use it. It's a poisoned mushroom of time, which will reverse and make him vomit up anything that he's eaten.
You're gonna feed the specter a poisonous mushroom?
I'm going to make it vomit up all the changelings. With a time mushroom that's been inverted.
as it continues to cackle. You throw forth this mushroom.
No, I'm stuffing it full on hand in, and I'm making it swallow, then pulling my hand out.
As you shove your hand into its mouth, its hands go up. It grows a second mouth above where its nose ought to be as it rips open through its eye. I remember you. I remember your mother as I ate her heart from the inside out. We remember
She's going to
everything.
cast silence.
Cast what?
I'm going to cast silence straight at this thing's face.
Ah.
I don't want to hear you talk anymore.
It is going
I just want to hear you
to
talk.
use its ability. Waking Nightmare. As exuding
Can
from
I
its
use
form is an endless
use my,
repetition of countless
counterspell?
small nightmares that you have all had. It is not a spell, an ability. I need
Then can
everybody.
I use my legendary killer?
It is not a legendary action. I need everybody
Damn.
to give me a wisdom saving throw. This is not
Okay,
a charm
awesome.
effect.
Awesome. I can't be charmed. I have a reduction.
Vinestra said, even those of us who aren't there.
They're not there, Joe. They're in a different place.
And,
Those that are not in the castle
if-
don't need to worry about
funny.
this.
and is it against being charmed or frightened?
No.
Charmed.
No.
You said charmed.
No, I said it is not a charm.
Well, I got a natural 20, so.
I got 19 and
My
plus
die-
3, 22.
What's your total? Because crit saving
This
throws are
die
not
is
a
going to
thing.
be the hero of this campaign today.
Guinea.
This
What's your total? Because crit saving throws, again, are not a thing in the house rules.
with my wisdom saving throw, it's a 35.
35. Okay.
22 and 35.
Roll one for Aiko. She's debilitated as it is, but just in case.
I don't have her stat sheet.
You can consider this, it's stat-wise identical to yours.
Okay.
So what's your modifier?
For wisdom plus 3.
19 for her, then.
I'm going to give her. Oh, yeah, that's fine. Well, if it's high enough. It's not high enough, so I'm going to give her a lucky so she can roll higher. Or give her the plus 4 I can give her because I'm working on her.
For those that got a 24 or lower, you are paralyzed.
Damn. Fucking epic levels.
A reminder, by the way, if you are not proficient with a saving throw, you get a plus 3 added to it automatically when going into epic levels.
Oh, so that was 22 plus 3, 25. Okay, I'm cool.
She is not.
Aiko is not.
She's paralyzed.
Which is fine. You're doing surgery on her.
Yeah,
Honestly, her not moving is a good
it's
thing.
actually probably good for the time being.
Buck has a higher wisdom save. So does Piper. Piper's wisdom save is going to be a natural 20 for her wisdom save. Holy shit. I'm going to roll a 1. It's going to be when I don't want it.
Piper's a druid. She's fine, honestly. I think it's in the teens for her modifier.
So, Urkbach.
Urkbach got a natural
Would
20.
you roll for Urkbach? Okay, good.
Urkbach is also fine as this beast grows in size. It is larger than when you remember seeing it from a child. You're not the only one who remembers seeing it, though. Avery,
Yes.
when you got the Shogoth core, there were a few smaller memory gaps that occurred.
Oh shit.
I'm going to give you an opportunity to give me a wisdom saving throw to try and break a modifying memory.
DM, has I forced this thing to swallow yet?
Waiting for his saving throw first, and no, because you haven't called it a good girl. Now,
Ew.
Okay.
I'm making a joke.
After using 2 inspiration, I landed on 17.
Look, my brain's been
plus
poisoned because I
3.
got a fucking phone call about docking. I'm sorry.
What? Oh.
It's a soft 20 on my wisdom save to break modify memory.
Soft 20 on your wisdom save. Okay.
Vinestra said, "At least it wasn't a question about the wonders of CBT."
Oh
Stop it.
lord.
God, please no.
Closed beta tests are often wondrous. Bite me. Okay. So. Yes, this is absolutely a stream about game design. Okay, now. Soft 20.
I mean, you are designing a game, so yeah.
Its baseline saving throw level is 24. So you do not unfortunately
Okay.
break it. There's this itching familiarity about this creature.
Yeah, I physically can't break it unless... And you said there's no crit saves, so... Yeah. I just can't.
Oh,
Because I
what would
rolled
you-
17, and it got a plus 3 to it.
what is your wisdom modifier?
Plus 3.
And you get a soft +3 if you're not proficient in a save because of epic levels. On
Oh,
top of that.
okay.
which means the max you could roll would be a
23.
26. So 23, you're just one shy. Do you want to use an inspiration die?
The third one.
It's up to you.
I'm gonna go ahead and get. You know what? I can go ahead. I can go ahead and give him advantage. The lucky thing.
Oh,
he
you want
wants
okay?
to.
You want to spend a luck on it, by all means.
Okay.
I got 4. I got 4.
Well, neither of
Technically,
those
that's
were
two.
more than 17, so. We'll just guess I just fail.
Okay. You can always recover it later.
Actually, can I give him? Can I give him bardic inspiration by saying, Avery, I need you to pay attention right now, please? Can I give him bardic inspiration to help him? Oh, no. I don't know.
You know what? This thing has
It's
been
a lost
summoned.
memory. It's probably fine.
Unfortunately, since this thing has been summoned and things are moving, I will not allow that for the moment.
Okay.
That said, there is an itching and unnerving familiarity with this beast as it summons itself forth. Like something you intentionally forgot, or maybe not intentionally, almost like a repressed memory. And so as it reaches up and bites up on your arm, you are shoving that mushroom down into its gullet. And you want to try and get it to spit up however many previous changelings it took in.
It is a time mushroom that has been
Yes.
altered and poisoned.
Roll me a vibe check with disadvantage. As you can see, among the many things that it has taken onto its form include some of those golemic runes that it seems to have grafted onto its own form as a form of defense. It is not a completed rune structure, otherwise it would be time immutable.
What am I supposed to be rolling for?
5.
With a 19 plus a lot. Thank God. This die is going to be the saving savior of the day, but I need it to not die on me.
You need the die to not die.
I need it to not roll like a 4 or 3 or 2. Give me
As you push down the
a
rune
good
and it
roll.
continues to try and thrash at you, its various unnerving mismatch of limbs and arms and eyes fight their way forward, and as they do, they unfortunately almost clumsily cast aside the runes that they've tried to graft to themselves off of their body, and the fungus takes hold, causing it to physically shrink down in size by at least a couple of feet, and the neurological sort of structure that you all seem to misshapenly find yourselves in begins to soften back down to the normal structures of the building. And it begins to thrash wildly.
I want to use Hold Monster on it.
Okay, it has been
Yes!
dropped back down from a CR 27 to a CR 10.
Let's see, which,
So,
you know what, we're gonna
What's the
go
saving throw?
all in. What does upcasting do to this?
I think just more monsters.
Oh.
I can hold bigger
Yeah,
monsters.
it's more. Okay. Then yeah, it's just gonna be, where's the lowest one? Oh.
It's like a 5 spell, I think, hold monster, right? 5, 6 spell.
Or,
6
wait, no,
spell.
that's Charm Monster. So, Hold Monster. Here it is, yeah, 5. And it's a Wisdom. Target must succeed a Wisdom saving throw or be paralyzed for the duration. Concentration up to 1 minute.
And you're saving throw DC.
19.
19. Let me see here. Oh, condition immunity is paralyzed. Okay, well, shit.
Shit.
As the spell casts out, its seemingly almost fluid form does not provide structure for the spell to latch onto. As the net casts outward and seems to almost pass through it.
Is it a fluid? So it's a fluid form?
It's specter and sort of
Like a
like fluid
gel?
cloth. It's spectral.
Think of somewhere between a cloth and a mist is how I picture it.
It's an aberrant dream. It's a dream eater.
I am going to take out a single gold coin while I've got my arm in one corner, and I'm going to cast on this stupid creature. I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if it's immune. Oh, it's immune to being charmed, isn't it? It can't be charmed. Can it not be charmed? Can it not charmed?
Vinestra said, to go old school, the smoke monster from Lost.
Yeah, kind of.
Okay. So if I put it in a block of ice, it'll just go through the block of ice.
Block of ice won't really do anything to it.
It won't hold it in place.
No.
Can't be paralyzed. Shit. Okay, I'm just gonna literally keep my arm inside of its mouth then until it starts vomiting.
Conditions, it is also immune to restrained.
I'm just gonna force it to
Can't
vomit.
Hold it.
Yep. And you already rolled your vibe check. Y'all then decided
But
to
can you
add on
insult
additional
its
things
dick
before I finished.
size?
I could insult its dick size.
You
but
assume it
no,
has one.
It doesn't have one.
You think this thing fucks to reproduce? Not in this version of the campaign. This is Forgotten Genesis, not Forgotten Contraceptive.
Did it vomit? Did it vomit yet?
I beg to differ with the amount of births angels.
I mean, some people's nightmares are penis-shaped, so...
Okay. Did it vomit
Pintergeist.
yet, Jeff?
I think I'm about to. Well, you guys tried to add on a whole bunch of things right after the mushroom got shoved in, so now let me finally roll that saving throw.
That good, huh? Bad, huh?
Yeah, so that is a 7. Cool. You expect there to be some expulsion from the mouth, but you can see countless different mouths forming across its body. There are so many horrid memories that you have attached to this thing. And yet you can see the putrid, desiccated, leftover, almost mummified raisins of changeling hearts being ejected from this thing. A changeling heart dropping like a raisin. Here. Dozens upon dozens upon dozens. A desiccated, deep gnome heart. A desiccated, smallest little nugget. Glowing with that fair, barely present effervescence of a changeling heart that at this size could only be pre-infantile.
Can I preserve it in any way?
I'm gonna put them in a bucket. They're all going in a bucket.
A bucket of what?
A bucket of hearts.
Where are you putting my firstborn child, apparently?
It's going in the jar until we get everything out of it.
And as it spews forth heart after heart after heart, changelings, various types of mortal creatures, it shrinks more and more in size until what is left is not but a pair of pointed ears, a single eye, pallid skin, and a toothy grin that stretches halfway up its face, the fey equivalent of the same beast, once whimsical originally in its nature, feeding off of errant dreams, not living things.
Well, it'll make you vomit until you can't vomit anything else. It's a horrible idea.
At last, this tiny little fey creature coughs forth a little. It looks like a bundle of twigs and leaves. Their bark, a blackened purple, covered in countless smaller, deep speech runes.
Keep going.
She's put all the hearts in one jar. She put that thing separately. It's like all the hearts over here, everything over there.
The pale thing collapses. No breath rising from its chest.
I'm feeding you to Brema.
Vacant.
The paralysis on Aiko would have been broken at this point, yeah?
Oh, long broken.
Oh no,
She awake again?
she's stuck in that shape because she has needles
The
in her
magical
that are holding
paralysis
her
from the
in one
dream
spot.
eater would have been broken, is the point.
Yeah.
And as that bit is ejected, Avery, you see some of that diseased pockmarking on her skin lessen a little bit, and her astral visage look now more directly like yours, a little broken in places, but intact and not infected by something secondary.
My God, Angel, I could kiss you!
Don't kiss me right
you
now. I'm covered in
dare.
goop.
You're mine. Why do I taste copper?
Don't move. There's still got needles in your brain. Don't move.
I'll explain it all tomorrow.
Okay. She's like, at this point, she looks at this Fey thing. She's like, she puts one of Brahma's mushrooms on top of this Fey beast and lets it sit there and start to eat. She knows that Brahma can come into this space whenever she wants.
You drop one of those little mushrooms. I'm going to roll a percentile real quick. High or low? Curiosity.
High or low, okay. I got an 83.
Okay, 79. So,
Can my Kitsune eat the thing? They're both spirit.
No. We're giving this to the lady who's gonna be pissed off about it.
Oh.
And take it as an offering.
Brahma,
Okay.
the Archfey of Decay. As you drop this little mushroom on its head, the spores, almost like if you've seen the Last of Us TV show, the sort of tendrilous cordyceps kind of shit that was going on with their alteration of it, that fucking completely enraptures this desiccated little corpse. As the mushroom explodes, spores out, and they all drop in and collapse on top of it like homing missiles until it is not but a fungal tumor almost, sitting and pulsing on the floor. Before
Remind me not
that
to upset
too-
the Feywild's fungi.
Before that too dries, rots, and collapses to a pale tannish dust, covering naught but a thin layer on top of an empty floor.
So much for our sterile environment.
We're fine. She won't do anything. She's actually very clean.
Which, of note, those spores seem... They did not move up at all. They seem to all just kind of, almost like in a black hole in a way, just collapse down and then stick to that structure. They have not moved.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to have one of the other deities do mass resurrection because I'm too tired. She, like, you could see Angel just like, I'm so exhausted.
Will you at least close her up first?
Hold on, I've got to make sure we clean up the space. She, like, literally is cleaning with small tools little parts of the braid and making sure everything is clean, and watering over it and then putting the thing back down and putting the healing stuff back on.
We can clean this.
Vinestra said, make sure everything is accounted for.
When
Yeah,
putting
make
the
sure
chair
you
back
didn't leave
together,
any
you need to
needles
make
in
sure
her.
all the screws are in.
He looks over at Arkbok, had that restoration spell go down. Because I need her to be able to think.
It's
She
about to
wakes
get
up.
going.
She was talking, so I think she should be good.
Okay. So put that on there, and then we can get this sewed up, because I'm starting to lose it, because I'm going to have to do mass resurrection. Or at least get one of the clerics to do it for me.
Cleanly enough, Urkbog casts Regenerate on Aiko. And who needs sutures when you have magic literally stitching together parts of a body?
Stitching and
Thank
healing
you.
at the same time.
Only to later find out
Just
you
like
left a
curling
towel
up the-
inside of the subject. No, I'm kidding.
I
No,
told
no,
you
no,
to
no, no,
check
no,
for the
no, no,
needles.
no.
Make sure you got all the needles out.
No, she took the needles out first, considering she had to pull through that thing. That needles are gone.
Did you check? Make
So
sure you
close them
have
out-
all your
close-
needles.
Yeah, every single one, and the ones that are on her back are the only two that are missing. So you have to hold that nerve until I let her go. Ugh. She looks over at Aiko. After it's healed over, she's gonna pull out the 2 needles on her back, and she looks over at Piper. That is not how we do surgery with changelings. Ever. This is the only time.
Do as
Not
I
take this
say,
as a
not
lesson
as
here,
I
Piper.
do.
Here, Piper. Do as I say, not as I do. Do as I say, not as I do. Not today. And she's like, we're gonna need a better lesson than this one. And her just going, yeah, better lesson
As
than this,
Aiko
which
finally
sucks.
takes the opportunity to sit up, you see tears falling from her eyes, and they do seem to be actually tears and not just
Actual
melted
tears,
brain
not
water.
brain cells.
Yeah.
Okay. Yay.
As she is now remembering without restriction what the hell even happened. To land her in
Angel,
this position.
where's that live infant part, changeling part?
They're not alive. They're not alive. They're all dead. They just glow.
Oh.
Okay. I'm going to separate out these hearts, and we're gonna put them in jars. She pulls
Are
out
they-
another bag of jars, and you don't understand why she has a bag of jars. Urkbog knows why she has a bag of jars. Nobody else in this party knows why she has a bag of jars.
How hard are the dried hearts? Are they hard enough to polish and make jewelry out of?
Not going to make jewelry out of. She's going to do a mass resurrection on all of them.
Oh,
They
you can
are-
resurrect them?
They are desiccated harshly enough that, I mean, feasibly yes, but yeah, you can do mass resurrection. It is an epic level spell. But I think you are of a level where you can cast Common Sword.
Yeah, but I have to sleep.
Yeah.
These souls have been in the ethereal realm for how long?
They'll be fine. It only started eating like it was a lot smaller when my mother was alive. The first time. It's less
Now
than
there is the
19
question
years.
and the caveat. the Shogoth core, or at least the extraction of it, affected Aiko worse because there was more life force present there. And yet there's the presence of the Dream Eater.
She looks over at this. I'm letting you know, if Shogoth can hear it, she looks over and turns at Avery. She says, if you take another soul, and if you send another one of those after the changelings, and she knows that this thing can hear her by hearing her through Avery, I will make you regret it.
You talk to the necklace?
That's what she says to that Shogoth core.
The little brain pendant necklace.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Quit messing where your hands shouldn't be, considering this is Menidna's living space. This is the only time she's ever invoked Menidna's name outside of the space and not cared.
Usually you feel a weight when you say the name, as if it echoes back, like it was being listened to. Here, when you say it, it's like you're in a soundproof room. No echo to be felt. And that's where we're going to shift to the other half of the party.
Okay.
I'm gonna just say, can we say for the effect not hearing that thing? She's going to do something to save Menidna, and Menidna's gonna fucking owe her.
So, over in, well, now we have Xanon and Venistra being pulled aside by a member of the High Guard for interviews or interrogation. Or whatsoever it happens to technically be.
We were gonna talk to each other, and they got really mad with us. So.
I went to go find Venestra.
Yeah. Angel and Venestra had an out-of-session RP trying to explain this stuff a little bit before the surgery. So, I don't know if she wants that to stick. It's up to her if she wants it to stick. So I can finish explaining to her.
Out-of-session RPs can be considered canon. It's up to, frankly, the players in that situation. And if there's information proven for me, of course, I need to be informed. That's about it.
It's just explaining the Abishai and why she has to be the way she. So I'm gonna message even more doing this.
Alright, so Xanon, you go off to find Venestra. Easy enough to collect her. At least
Where do I find her?
Good question. Where does Xanon find you?
Venestra said, probably where she sleeps.
Alright, so I'm assuming one of the many guest bedrooms in Mochizuki Manor. Easy enough to find her in that bedroom. Mochizuki Kibishite.
I'm gonna knock on the door.
Vey would open it and respond with a yes.
Oh, hi. Hoping we can chat.
Sure, come in.
I'm just gonna go in and just take a quick look around. See if we're alone.
Perception check.
Uh, 27.
Yeah, you guys are alone. With that, though, you do recall that a guard captain is waiting on the both of you for whenever this conversation concludes. To go ahead and talk things over with you.
Alright, Vanestra. I know you might be feeling irritated right now, but just received a sort of mission. I thought maybe you'd want to tag along. I have to go to the Underdark. Don't know how long it's gonna take.
Vinestra said, Vey would perk up at the mention of a mission. Very well, I'd certainly be down for such. Will be good to stretch my wings.
Alright. Great. Bruce will be joining us. He's a gnoll. We're looking for a couple of dragons. And,
Wasn't it the other knoll?
What other gnoll?
So you weren't being accompanied by Bruce. You were being accompanied by
The one that bangs the chrome dragon.
Dunark. That's the name.
Oh, Dunark. Okay. Yes, Dunark will be joining.
Xanon is confirmed a racist. He thinks all gnolls look alike.
It's not racist. It's just how our brains are wired. See other races as lookalikes.
And making
I am also a racist. Right, Dunark will be joining, and he's an important part, I guess, but to make sure he's stays alive.
Vinestra said, should be simple enough.
While I have you, I was wondering if you could inspect this thing for me. I have a feeling there's more to it. I'm gonna take out, if I can find it, thing in my pocket. Where is it? Oh yeah, an onyx bullhorn. And show the secret parchment that is blank.
Vinestra said, "Sure, though it will take some time. Where did you get it?"
DM, would I remember that?
Yeah. Again, you were a passenger in your own body while you were possessed, and so you were witness to many of the things that Idlesh did.
I got this from the dwarf. And, well, actually, I don't know if I got it from him, but it was in my pockets after our interaction. I think I assumed it was from him, but I don't know.
Vinestra said, "I see. Well, I'll look into it. When next I can. So when do we start this mission?"
Right now.
Very well, lead on.
If I remember, is Dunark waiting for us, or
Yeah.
just gonna go straight to where he is?
Well, I know I told you like an hour ago, but it feels like it's been a couple of weeks. What took so long?
I was, sorry, I was, had to prepare. This is Vernestra. She'll be joining.
Understood. Alright, let's get to the tree and get the fun stuff done. After that, you two have, well, some questioning you gotta get through.
Vinestra said, "We have met before, Zanan. His wife purchased a large list of things."
We're not talking about that.
I can imagine that. Where's this tree?
So it is just outside, over by the grotto, where the hot springs was.
It's also a big fuck-off tree.
It's fucking gigantic.
Is there anything else you needed, Dunark?
I think Zanan banged in it.
I think we're good. I also didn't need to know that.
I think that was... No, it was in the sky. Other time was in the bush.
Alright, let's get this going. as he begins to split open the tree and get it ready for tree stride down to the city of Sharni on what is effectively both the other side and underside of the planet. As I'm realizing now, we are past the 2-hour mark, so we're going to call that where we're going to take a break.
Can I say, before he opens the tree, I would like to say a little prayer.
By all means.
And in that prayer, I'm going to accept Gaesir's offer.
All right.
I'll be taking my sword, plunging it into the ground as I take a knee and just kind of whisper to myself.
Okay. In which case, that'll be where we take a break. Everybody from the break. Sorry that took a minute. All right. Let me go ahead and switch the music back to, let's say, urban.
God, my head looks like an egg like this. I hate it.
A little bit, yeah. So, you all were going to check on mainly the dragon guarding the Velix shelves in the city of Sharni. As you pass through the tree, of course, there is naturally that sort of immediate atmospheric shift from going from frigid, fuck-off cold straight to, honestly, kind of a temperate, if shadowed, area of the world. Late at night over there, it's a little bit more into just late afternoon here in Sharni. A little bit of ambient sunlight peeking in from that large opening above the Mochizuki castle. Largely lit in blue due to the nature of the forge, the barest bit of sunlight still kind of disappearing away from this angle of open room into space. So nonetheless, the city is well lit enough, both from the reflected blue light of the forge and the various fungal lights that do carry through the various streets. As Dunarg begins to lead you. At the pace and the various sort of shortcuts that Dunarg is going to move through, this will be about a 15-ish minute walk. Is there anything that you both would like to cover in the meantime while that walk is going on, be it either with Dunarg or amongst each other? Excuse me.
Vinestra said, didn't he have questions to ask the two as well?
Not me. You gotta do that back at the keep.
Supposed to be quiet. Self-mission, kind of.
The interrogation between the two of you is meant to be documented. I don't cover that.
That was OOC.
In which case, again, yeah, the out-of-character answer there is, yeah, your interrogation, your questioning by some of the High Guard, Captain, not Dunarg specifically. Best you could tell, the individual who approached you for that seemed to be, in some form or fashion, a drow. Or wait, nope, sorry, it wasn't a drow. it was a gray orc. Now I'm remembering a little bit. Trying to remember that literally hurt to do so. But yeah, it was a gray orc. Mixing up NPCs, it's been 2 weeks.
Did I make it? Considering they're right.
Vinestra said, if it's a stealth mission, Vi is going to keep quiet and Amira will be tagging along.
Alright, in which case then, for the sake of kind of a subtle approach, or blending in, I should say, give me a stealth check.
Oh, for me too?
Yeah.
Okay. 17.
17?
Yep.
Alright. And then from Vinestra and Amira, technically, as well as one for Ravik.
Ravik is a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. With a dirty 20, Ravik has opted to shift to his draconic form and is mostly clinging to the shadows and sort of more so along the rooftops and ceilings around the area. Though still very much in your view, keeping himself pretty thoroughly obscured. Alright.
Vinestra said, 19 plus 26, 19 plus 12.
Okay, 45 and a 31.
Wow.
Excuse me. Vinestra and Amira damn near disappear from your view, almost entirely. Zen, and although, excuse me, Dunarg, despite his lumbering gnoll-like physique, does not seem to have much trouble himself blending in either, as he rolled a natural 20. If not for the very deliberate point he makes for keeping in your view while out of sight of just about anything else, you may have lost track of the gnoll. So, between that and the various, in some cases nearly claustrophobic, shortcuts that are taken to get to those upper shelves, you eventually sort of leave the major recesses of the city of Sharni. On its uppermost elevations, you are now staunchly amidst a lot of really heavy, ruined Mind Flayer architecture. It seems like this, in large part, seems to be an almost entirely intact, ruined old Mind Flayer city. The sort of Geiger-esque build into a lot of the stone and sort of pseudo-carapace-like architecture here is brazen, blatant, apparent, and even the stonework itself seems to give off a even if merely remnant, heavy, whispering tone. You immediately feel your scales crawl being here. A presence of being on the edge of something that, even if gone, was very wrong. As if the very stepstones in this place might as well echo the screams of those long lost with every step you take. And yet there's an inquisitive edge to the place here too. A thoughtfulness and a curiosity that seems foreign, wrong, and twisted. And yet, Still, with Dunarg's insistent pace, you manage to, at least mostly, shove it aside as you chase after the knoll. Until eventually, he comes up to what appears to be a seemingly reflective wall, out of which are a number of sort of yellowed, almost sulfurous geysers. It seems to sort of almost run along the winded street length here and come to a, I would say, almost like rigid dome-like arch moving away from the street, though still very much a stern and excuse me, formidable wall in front of you nonetheless. All right, we're here. You two didn't get followed, right?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think so.
Are you confident in that statement?
I feel confident.
All right. And then you, bigger dragon lady, do you feel like you were followed?
An extra?
She tapping.
Vinestra said, "Can V do a perception roll?"
By all means.
Okay. Baby.
28.
28. With a 28, no attention seems to have followed behind you. However, with a 28, you do very apparently catch notice of peering eyes focused on you in near countless numbers along the cave ceiling. Ropers staring down with curiosity on your detached group. A massive, which you thought initially was just a long stone cave-like structure, horribly massive spider atop the city ceiling, staring down at you. And this reflective wall in front of you, shifting as if a breathing, slumbering, you're recognizing the scale pattern. That is a fuck-off gigantic dragon.
I'll never hear ropers without just thinking of them as giant tentacly puppies after Cosma.
Roper.
Based on the sheer size alone of what you can only assume looking at this reflective wall to be maybe only part of its wing, this has to be a metallic dragon in its twilight stages, which means it is an ancient that has grown to a point where if it wanted to die, it could do so without any issue, just with the utterance of the syllable. And the amount of magic it would leave behind in that process would be ungodly.
Vinestra said, "No, at least besides the things up there. Do you feel like you were followed?"
I mean,
Big Joe, half of the stalactite are armored
There's that.
So when you say an ungodly amount of magic, are we talking ring-shatteringly ungodly?
No,
If it
like
were
a city.
if it were a chromatic dragon, you would be creating a brand new destroyed biome just from what it left behind. This is metallic. Thankfully, what it leaves behind is far less destructive, but it's still an insane amount of leftover magic.
Got it.
But yeah, this is we're going to permanently alter an environment when a dragon gets this old and decides to die.
Cool.
The key difference, which both of you as dragon and half-dragon respectively would know, though, as far as dragon lore goes, when dragons get this old, yes. When chromatics get this old and decide to die, it is explosive. It is a permanently scarred environment, brand new biome, usually either just, you've got a brand new volcanic just valley, or, you know, brand new poison swamp, something like that. For metallics, they can just go for as long as they want. They don't have to worry about exploding. And frankly, unless intervened upon and someone chooses to kill them, they die quite literally when they choose. So this is
So I have a
For dragons, it's basically when you reach a point where you would be considered geriatric, it's ironically the peak of your power. For metallics, at least. And this is one such example. As you can even see with the blue reflections from the forge reflecting off of this dragon, there's still that slight green twinge, which both of you, at least mildly familiar with metallurgy, would recognize adamantine. That sulfurous fog coming off of various parts of the dragon, a natural weathered presence that adamantine dragons are wont to produce. Adamantine dragons in Ormer, at least to your knowledge, Xanon, you'd be hard-pressed to find one. It's not that, you know, they get hunted or anything, it's just that they, them breeding, them reproducing, them occurring in general, exceptionally rare. And that's entirely by choice. They don't feel much of a need to do it very often. So this in Ormer would be an incredible treat. The fact that you're seeing it even outside of Ormer, it's like going to Niagara Falls for the first time and just absorbing that immensity.
I'm definitely absorbing it.
Yam, is it usual for her to sleep like this?
In the last 2 years, yeah. I mean, there isn't... Given the amount of defenses, let alone the big-ass spider that you've put over this city, interlopers have been infrequent. So her just taking the time to rest, chill, pretty typical. You know, she's not exactly... Her purpose here is not to be an ear on the ground and part of the overarching espionage. Her job is to...
Protect the brain.
Something, yeah, to protect protect the brain, the mind of the world, essentially, and also let you know if anything sideways comes out of the shelves. Which she's been awake whenever you've asked, and nothing has caught her notice. But despite her relaxed breath, here for those that are present in this context, now beginning to peel a much more keen eye over her, you note one fairly large metallic plate eyeball-like device jutting out of one of that's her fucking eyeball, just staring at you, and it has not been closed at all since you've been approaching, though it does curl into a tight, slitted draconic focus when staring upon the three of you. In particular, keeping a keen and focused eye on Xanon, the half-dragon, Ravik, the gold dragon, and, of course, Venestra, Dragoness.
Does she almost look protectively overly at Dunard, considering that the Chrome Dragon will get pissed off if he gets hurt?
Well, you're not there, but
I wanted to ask, because they're friends. Relatively.
it doesn't take that much of a passive insight to very much glean a sort of concerned look through that eye when looking at Dunarg, as if to just kind of gauge if there's any notable difference upon him. Hey, Earleth, it's been a minute. Been a long minute. Been a while. Save your gruff tone for your wife. Whoop, where did Gina go?
I don't know. She said she was saying.
You're back. What the fuck happened?
Sorry, it was breaking up really bad, so I wanted to come back in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Save your gruff tone for your wife. Who are these wormlings you've brought before me? As her eyes turn, as her at least present laying eye turns and locks focus again on the two of you.
Well, I'm just going to bow and think. I don't know what Ramik's gonna do. He's gonna give a little bow and say, "I am Xanin."
Ravik drops from the rooftop he was perched on, kneels down low, and very much in regards to a lot of animal patterns and even dragon patterns, he very much enters into a,
Please don't kill me, those.
what's the word I'm looking for? A reverent. That's the word I'm looking for, yes. A reverent,
okay.
and, again, speaking purely in regards to the animalistic usage of the term, a reverent and submissive pose before this incredibly old dragoness. I'm Ravik.
After I see him do that, I'm gonna copy him.
You swear you see what must be a lot of the mouth on the, again, the sheerly massive head curl at least into somewhat of a half smile, revealing aged, beautiful, shiny, but in some places still slightly decayed and broken teeth that are fucking massive, even just in their half-revealed state. Like, you could easily... One of them is the size of you. As her eye then turns to focus on you, Venestra. And you. Whoop. Microphone position. And you.
Vinestra said, Vinestra, it is nice to see another dragon.
I would say the same. But I can see and smell it on you. Your foreign nature. You are not from here. Your technologies, your companion, Not even your magic. What business do you have on the ring of Zaria, foreign dragoness Venestra?
Bro just told her to go back to her country.
Vinestra said, to help people, and return home one day, not really here by choice.
I will say, despite her aged tone, her relaxed physique and the remaining gentleness in her eyes does read, even just with your existing passive insight, of not hostility, but just genuine curiosity, as well as this sort of clear semblance of sort of waking up and very much in a drowsy state.
Noted.
Sleep's usually curled around the brain, right?
Usually.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Not here by choice. What drove you here, then?
Vinestra said, accidentally ending up in this world. Wouldn't really call it intentional.
That doesn't answer my question. Do you have any knowledge of what drove you here?
No, I do not.
That eye narrows further, as if trying to look into and read something within you. Fascinating. I do hope you will come back and tell me when you find out. I love stories from new people. Just like that tree, I love stories.
It's a lot of
Vinestra
talking.
said, I'll keep that in mind. Though if you want some stories, Amira here has a massive library of various stories.
If they aren't local, I may take you up on that offer. Now do knock. Why are you here?
Chicken and bread.
Checking on the brain, making sure it's okay. Can we check on it? Is it good?
Tone.
The brain is doing fine. Again, save that tone for your wife. It's my tone. I can't really do another one. Somehow I feel like you're lying. There's a slightly mischievous smile on the massive dragon head.
She's heckling him. You can't tell. He's so not smart enough to tell. He's smart enough to know so many other things, just not that. Joking is not his forte.
He has a lack of self-awareness in a lot of regard. It was good to see some new draconic faces. But everything is in order here. I could smell something foul in the air. Not but a day ago. Nyx's presence weakened, faltered. Something putrid got strong around where he was. Something old. Might be worth checking. The brain, just in case. The head turns away, and the massive wall of adamantine scale begins to twist. It takes It takes a long moment where you can see these massive scales slowly rotate, the back revealing itself, the sheer scale of the spines, and the spine itself as the tail unfurls and begins to lay itself down along the road a good ways behind you, close to 1/8 of a mile in length.
Wow.
The rain is fine. If a little scuffed, it threw off some smaller invaders. Tadpoles. Tadpoles made of stone. Oh, very strange. She slowly turns her head back toward the lot of you as it now sits up, the neck craned, and it hangs above you close to the ceiling. And she drops very lightly from her teeth, clattering from their height gently to the ground at, again, the feet of each of you. You sort of roughly 1 foot long, stone almost, what's the word I'm looking for? Look like almost stone effigies of the spitting image of Mind Flayer worms. As then the stone structures twitch and shudder as if very much alive, and you see those ever so familiar golemic runes all over their surfaces.
I grabbed it. Don't play it. And then put it in the field.
A recent misstep, but they never made it through. He has his own defenses when I failed to see. I trust you all find good purpose in those wretched things. Still, I must be sure. She breathes in this heavy breath that makes the air itself just in the world around you suddenly grow thinner, as if you've raised hundreds of feet in altitude, only to realize she is quite literally taking the air away from the immediate area, before then exhaling out of her mouth, out of her every pore, this brilliant, bright, golden, noxious cloud of sulfur, which does not seem to offend your senses, almost intelligently avoiding you, blanketing itself like a brilliant golden storm cloud as it begins to rain down, and you can see sliding and almost retching out of various stones in the street, in the walls, in the statues, in the buildings, in the windows of so many structures on the shelves here, like termites flushed out of their homes with poison. More and more of these stone worms, amounting in the dozens, before they find the amount of them flooding out finally stems and stops. Bring these back where you came from, and have Angel check her grandmother. If these things bury themselves in stone, does not hurt to be cautious.
Does that clear out the stuff that's around the snail too?
It does.
Guys, I'm falling asleep. I'm gonna head to bed.
That's okay. Thank you for being patient with me, and thank you for being a present player here today, Brick. I'll
Thank
see
you for
next
being
week.
a good
Not gonna
DM.
wait immediately.
I'll still listen. Just going to bed so I can.
Well, you've been working out. That's what happens when you work out. You
Yeah.
Your
tired.
body yells at you, and then your body gets used to it.
And working out at, getting up at 8 too. So
Oh my god.
on
I know, I was gonna-
Saturdays are a morning class. So I have to be there by 9. So I get up at 8.
Your body's throwing a tantrum. I get it.
Yep.
You'll get used to it eventually.
All right, let's take these 3, and I'll go climb down and grab a couple more, and then we can head back.
What's it?
I'll grab a couple more of those things. You take those 3. When I get back up, we'll haul them back, and then we can figure out what to do with, these stone worms.
All right.
I'm gonna roll an athletics check to just see how well Dunard climbs down the steps while unsettled to collect some of these worms. Dunard, buddy.
Can I give him some advantage, DM? Can I give him one of my inspiration die?
Spending inspiration like that does not necessarily require you be present, so go nuts.
Yeah, I'm gonna spend my inspiration die on Dudar Goki.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give him a natural 20. Does that work?
So spending an inspiration means I get another roll.
Oh, okay.
Roll
Well, I want to know how to die, so I was gonna. Do you want me to roll it? Because I can roll it. I haven't rolled you in a while.
That's worse.
Very nice then.
Okay, so
Can I give him a lucky? Can we give him?
if you want to spend one of those too,
There. Can't do it.
that's better.
Yeah, I'll spend another. Yeah. Let's go. Let's spend another inspiration die. Considering
Okay.
I'm currently
So,
sleeping while they're
for-
gone.
For the sake of playing out a couple of the missteps with the rolls there before it settles itself. You watch as Dunarg starts to shakily try and climb down the steps to get down to one of the lower shelf layers, and a couple of the stones in the wall give way, and he scrambles and claws into the wall, and it starts to slide down as he feels like he's about to fall, and then his feet touch a ledge that's just been there the whole fucking time.
Do you need some help?
I'm fine. And then he proceeds to climb down with the ease of a seasoned rock climber. Collect about... let's roll a d4. With disadvantage. Okay. He collects 4 additional stone specimens and climbs his way back up. Shits and giggles for the upward climb. I'm still going to roll that.
Vinestra said, "You sure you don't need a hand? Most of us have wings."
I'm fine, I have a way for that. Got 4 more. Let's go. Fucking worms.
Good job.
Oh, you're supposed to hand her the dragonberry wine, by the way, that golden one that we got, so she can heal up in case she has ruins.
I'm gonna roll to see if he accidentally broke the bottle, stuffing the stone worms into his bag.
Please, Joe, please.
He gets advantage because he's not that stupid. Okay, 18. Almost forgot. He fishes out the bottle as you hear a loud glass ting, but not quite a shatter, and he stops for a moment. His hair standing up on the back of his neck, pulls out the bottle as it grazes along these sort of stone needle-like teeth. We're good. Sets it down gently and scutters away from it like trying to back away from a bomb. Let's go.
Quick question, Joe. Did we get the name? Or
Oh, you heard Dunarg address this massive dragon as, let me see here, as Yrleth. Yrreleth. And given her previous presence in Ormer, I will allow you, Xanon, to roll me a history check. It is a high DC again due to just the sheer rarity that adamantine dragons are, but given her age, it may be a slightly easier time.
I'm letting you know that she's nicknamed the Twilight Rose. One of my favorite little nicknames.
Nicknamed by you, yes.
can I give myself guidance?
Can he give himself guidance, Joe?
Yeah, you can guide yourself. It's a 1d4.
History. It's a 12.
12. I will say it's got that kind of, it's got that sensation where it's like, it's on the tip of your tongue. You swear you've heard about it somewhere. Can't quite put your finger on it. You know that name. Just don't remember all the context. And it's bugging you at this point.
I'm gonna remember this name.
Are they now fleeing the town, Joe? Those worms?
They died in that sulfur bath.
Okay. Were there any on the giant spider?
No. They were all collectively around the steps, or the shelves, I should say specifically. The only 3 that are alive are the ones that Yrleth collected directly and dropped at your feet. The other few are dead specimens.
Interesting.
So do they get back?
Yeah. For the sake of brevity, I'm not going to have you roll a stealth check to subtly make it back again. So, easy enough to go ahead and take the path that you took before with, following after Dunarg as well as he knows the street. And, I mean, to especially the more clever wanderers among you, you do take note of the pathway.
Can I cast Identify on one of the dead ones?
Which allows you to identify a magical object. How long does that ritual usually take? Oh, also, if I recall correctly, identify with the laying out of the circle and everything typically needs to be done on a stable and stationary surface, so while walking, probably not a great time for it.
Okay.
But when you get back, certainly. As you all pass back through the tree and are greeted now very suddenly and very quickly by that unforgiving cold of this Arctic northern island.
By the time they would get back, it'd be morning, right? We've already gone through the whole surgery, considering it would have taken a while for them to get over there and back.
Morning insofar as it's, a bumfuck late/early hour of the morning. It's like 4 a.m.
Have I had sleep?
No. Nobody's had the opportunity to sleep yet. It is 4 a.m. And so
Joe,
now...
please tell my character I hadn't had time to sleep. We finished this, midnight time. Right before supper, then had supper, and then went to bed.
Okay, you know what? Valid. Since also with the sequence of events, this did not necessarily happen at the same time. Yeah, I will say they've had the opportunity to rest. That said, you and Venestra will need a siesta pretty damn quickly.
If they're gonna need to put those
Venestra
worms
said,
somewhere.
"What about contractions?"
I mean... Shit. That's right. Roll me a flat d20. If you are within 2 digits of the dice that I just rolled, you're having another one this session.
Is a 5 gonna kill me, DM?
No, you're good.
The first roll was an 18, and then it went 5.
Still not within 2 digits. You're good.
Okay, good, awesome.
So 13. So,
Angel's probably gonna be up at this point. It's 4 a.m.
yeah. You're already doing your pre-prep as you now bear witness to a very exhausted Noel in Dunarg and a pair of most likely, at least tiring, half-dragon and dragoness. Holding aloft in their arms what looks like an upscaled stonemason's rendition of a mind flayer worm. And then you notice that it is subtly still undulating.
I will take care of
Venestra
that.
said, "So why did we get these worms?"
Because they're golem worms. And we can get the origin of them if we kind of look into it. Joe did say golem worms.
Yeah, these stone-like worms do have the golemic runes all over them. However, you are at least now in a stable environment where if you'd like to cast Identify as a ritual on one of these, you may do so. Are you going to use one of the living ones or one of the dead ones?
One of the dead ones.
One of the dead ones.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're in safe still. DM, I would also, since it's 4 o'clock in the morning, the reason she probably would have woken up early is to revive Menidna.
Okay. Roll me a percentile to see if you can link up with him.
I'm not going
Vinestra
to-
said, V was weirdly not looking exhausted as she would aid in identifying the alive one as well.
Okay, it's considered one of your, cosmic summon things, so.
Are we talking about my D8?
Your D100.
Well, I got a 1.
D8's when you do the God Breed. Okay, 1. All right, we're going to do order of operations here. First identifying the worms, and then we'll get around to the Menidna bit. Did I accidentally turn my own great old one into a tongue twister?
Yep.
I think I especially did that when I get tired. Okay. So, between attempting to cast, let me see here. Identify 5e. Does this apply to living creatures? Let me see here.
Well, since it's dead, wouldn't it count as an object?
Still
You
a
touch a creature throughout the casting, you learn what spells, if any, are currently affecting it. Okay, so we'll count that as the means here. All right. So you lay this out, and as you lay out the ritual and begin to cast Identify on it, you notice the runes begin to burn incredibly brightly. And as the runes fry out one by one by one, it begins to, with each sort of explosion and crackle like a small firework on the runes, start to fray at the spell work you are trying to lay out. Since Vinestra, you are also trying to identify one, I will say both of you go ahead and give me vibe checks to see how much information you are able to glean before it collapses your spell work.
Oh. I mean to add that.
Vinestra said, does Vi have proficiency in vibes at all?
Proficiency in vibe. If I recall correctly, you do? You do. Given how
Training
you
vibe.
Oh, training it, right. How far along was that training? I think you were at 4 out of 5. So, okay. It'll be a wisdom check in this case. That said, if you do meet a certain threshold with that wisdom, you will become proficient, and then vibe check from Xanon here.
It's a natural 20 for 22.
Natural 20 for a 22. All right, and then the wisdom
18
roll.
plus 2, so dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Okay, dirty 20. That is enough to gain proficiency in vibe and glean a little bit of information. Xanon, you got a natural 20. So, as this spell begins to fizzle, we'll start with Vinestra here with the lower of the two rolls. You learn, first of all, this thing's name. It is a Chaos Golem Termite. You learn the name only before it fizzles. Xanon, with your natural 20. Chaos Golem Termite. A golemic enchantment on a Mind Flayer worm focused on through channeling magic directly from the fugue plane of Limbo and the brain just turned right off. Let me return to my notes.
Whatever that dark place is.
Channeling into and unto these things influenced directly from Nayuzuel, the machine.
How do you spell that?
It is one of the members of the Conjoined Chaos. I will re-enter it into general chat here.
Gosh.
These are used for turning beings of greater power spontaneously not into mind flayers, but mutating their forms and beings into golemic puppets for the Conjoined Chaos. You also learn that they continue to reside in those beings, so theoretically, if these are present in those larger things, they might be able to be extracted. You're uncertain.
Okay.
That's what you glean with your natural 20 on your vibe check, being able to fully identify that creature. Now, Angel. Your natural 1 on your D100, in other words, a successful attempt to contact and summon Menidna.
We're gonna find a quiet, secluded place to do this. Probably in her grandmother's castle.
Easy enough.
As far as... because he doesn't like too many loud places. He likes to be the loudest thing in the room.
As you settle in and focus, your vision shifts. This is sort of ethereal, over-bloomed reflection of the vault. You've had visions like this on occasion. Very rarely. Only really if Menidna wants to speak to you. Without that subtle, that not so subtle overbearing presence that he is ever so known for. He, she, it, they, the thing of many, the Grey Thief. A small, gray, twisting and shifting squid. Many mouths and many eyes. About your size. Curled into a small black pond. You've never seen Menidna this small, but the whispers, that overpowering, still present. You know it's him. You know it's Menidna. A being like this would never present as so insignificant. What do you do?
She's gonna reach her hand out to Menidna. Make a deal with me. With us. And we'll always be friends. And I will always let you care for this world. This is your will.
Trying to steal it from me. It
Take my
seems
hand.
infantile almost, the complaint, the rage, as if a being of immeasurable, confusing infinity is on the verge of tears, as if it's been bullied.
She's gonna put her hand out to it. Make a deal with me. I need you to care for the ring. It is your ring.
Mine. Syria is mine.
Take my hand. She reaches her hand out, and she's not gonna give up.
Are
She
you
knows it's just a
sure?
little boy who just wants up. Take my hand. This is my world to care for too,
Are
and you're part of
you
it.
sure?
He's making a deal with me, not the other way around.
I know.
Nick, I need your help. Please.
And he's there right alongside you.
He's like a little boy, and I can't bear to see him like this.
Among the many twisting eyes, you can see fresh wounds in eye sockets that won't return to the core form, as if they've been gouged.
Make a deal with me.
Nick takes your hand. Make a deal with us.
This is your ring, no one else's.
What do I get from making a deal with you?
My protection. I may not like your protection of me, but I would never say no. But you will never regret our protection. I need you. She takes out... Fuck, I cannot believe I'm giving him this. It is going to give him the ability to control time a little bit, but it's going to frustrate me.
Something he already has. It's redundancy.
I know, but giving him one of the mushrooms that I have that he's able to use at this state, and I combine it with that gold stuff to get rid of them, he's making a deal with me, and my protection involves ejecting it.
Okay. As you are reaching out to Menidna, you notice your threads of fate linked to Nicodemus. You also note them extending out back toward home. To everyone you are linked to, you notice this black, twisted, contorted, almost rubber band-like thread weaving off of Menidna. Roll a percentile. This is not a call for a high or low.
What she's going to whisper into the world, she says, I really need your help, Sony, because I can't do this by myself either. We'll lose him.
You won't call on me for this.
What she says for Nick?
This is Wilsoni answering you. You won't call on me for this. I'm not yours to call. Roll me a
You left him
percentile.
alone. Three. Four is better for these things.
3. 3. Benigna
Push it.
takes in that mushroom. In a flash, to anyone gazing upon the sky, you see past the stars of night for a moment. A shifting, twisting motion of stars moving back, and you see an impossible, massive, maddening form of twisting mouths and eyes, the gray thief over all of Zaria and all of its massive existence. And a shift, a moment in an old history, in limbo. Those mutant things you've already witnessed, clawing at, tearing at, biting at the gray thief and his prize of the world of Zaria, ripping him down into something small, and you all feel rage upon witnessing this. Not personal, small, mortal rage. Not the rage of a dragon for its hoard that's been claimed, but the rage of something greater than a god that demands this world is mine. And that is the core sentence, the statement, the truth that is your existence. And that rage bubbles, boils, and as you all collectively feel a moment to scream out in rage and wrath, you return to yourselves normal, confused at that extension of your consciousness. As Medina bubbles and boils and grows. His fetid, twisted, bubbling ink-like flesh alight with blue energy, drawing on the forge. Rose-tinted energy drawing on the deal just freshly made. Drawing on countless golden threads, weaving it like a net, like a cloth, like a robe, like a crown. A humanoid form spews forth from Benigna. Gray, faceless, gaunt and slight, like the slipperiest of thieves and rogues. Call my name in battle, and I will summon forth my collection. As an army in my wrath. Each of you can hear his vicious, venomous, angry voice in your ears. Kill them all. Rip them to shreds. Hey, do not steal from me! And that is where we're going to end the session as you snap back to reality.
It's 11 o'clock, Joel.
Yes, it is. And we actually started at 6:30.
Oh, I really wanted. I had 2 other things to do.
And we will
I
get
can
to
keep
them
going.
when I am not in pain next week, I promise you. Shorter session than I normally run. Feels like a good moment to call it. This will be all of your opportunities for a proper long rest, even if you normally wouldn't benefit from it for staying up this late in character.
So I'm not sure what happened here. You're not explaining what happened.
To
considering
explain
what
mechanically
happened.
and plainly, you now have the ability to summon an army from Menidna's vault. Various unique beings he's collected over countless eons to help you fight and kill the conjoined Lords of Chaos.
So he's alive now? It's his world?
Alive, back together, and pissed. A great old one is pissed.
I never thought she'd help him.
As far as the conditions of your deal, since you hosted it, I'm going to need this in writing so that I may write it down. What are you having Menidna, the Great Thief, do on your behest?
He made a deal with us.
Yeah.
So the deal was that we would be friends.
And he took that as magical fuel to reattach himself to the planet. You will be friends. It may also mean that in the event of your death, as gods eventually will die, you may be reincarnated later, but this incarnation of you won't be going to the garden. You and Nick. You'll be friends.
No, we'll still go to the garden. That's what that means. We're not tied to him like that. That's not the tie that we made. The tie was made that he can come visit. He can come say hi.
All right. You also finally manifested a humanoid manifestation from Menidna. By the way, every Great Old One has some prerequisites for if they gain a humanoid manifestation. Every single one. You just met Menidna's and allowed it to happen.
He took Angel's form?
No. He's a blank, faceless, and gaunt, gray, thief-like creature. It is slender, it is
Like a
slight,
timber?
it is skittish. It is... Closest thing I could put it to is like... Call him if he took care of himself.
You mean like a kinder? It's like a kinder.
Not that short.
No.
Taller than that. Yeah, Gollum if he took care of himself, but like if he was like an elf, that kind of thing.
Vinestra said, as an aside, Vi and Xanan are coming to drop off the worms, and then Vis going to study with Amira. The bullhorn Xanan was given.
A couple of things to go ahead and build off of for next session. So as we start next session, I can either start it from 4 a.m. on the 3rd, or 8 a.m.
It needs to be 8 a.m. because Angel's going to be wiped after that.
And you all guys have had the allotted time to rest, mechanically speaking, because of now the direct attachment and promise to Menidna. No matter how long you choose to rest, you will wake up at 8 a.m. and it will be considered a long rest in this case. So.
See this way to see
And
something
then after
so
sleeping, finally Vi is going to do the interview with whomstever.
Yep, and he was planning on doing it tonight before he unknowingly got his brain scrambled by a Great Old One repositioning its power and fell asleep in the middle of the tavern and will wake up on the floor.
So Farah is also used to be part of the vault.
Mm-hmm. session. 55.
I think the problem was for Angel. I never thought Angel would actually help him.
I'm kind of shocked by that too. I asked, "Are you sure?" a couple of times.
The thing is, Joe, remember, he's not necessarily evil.
No, he's not. He's just really dark.
He's twisted. He's cruel.
He's a great old one. He's unsettling. That's what they are. And he's the Gray Thief. Ironically, he was bitching about they stole it from me. He stole it from them first. And gave you guys the sun. I believe I told that origin story even in the one-shot. The Ring of Zeria was plucked from Limbo. Where the Mind Flayers resided uninterrupted. The Velix Empire existed at its height while the Ring of Zeria was still locked in Limbo. And then one day, the sun began to show as the ring was pulled from its place in Limbo and back into normal space.
Yes,
The
but
Velix
each
did
one
not
of-
worship Medidna. They hated him for a reason.
Yes, but each one of the different great old ones you said have ownership over the space.
Yep, they have
Like,
ownership of various parts of the ring.
So
None of them could claim any part of Zeria
Zeria.
until
No.
Medidna pulled it into normal space.
yeah, but even you said each ring has its own great old one. So each great old one has a different ring.
Yes.
So Menidna wanted one for himself, so took Zeria.
Mm-hmm. And stole it from the Lords of Chaos.
Well, I'm so sorry. I didn't think she'd ever help him, but I think just seeing him in that weakened state probably shook her. Because remember, he was the first one to attach to her. After Pith.
The amount of percentiles I was rolling after the first session of Season 2, when we started introducing the Golem plotline, it's like, the percentiles that I kept rolling in the background were, they are actively fighting Menidna. Let's see how this goes. Oh, shit. So.
But now he's going to have to rely on the gods as them as well, in order for his power for some of that to be relayed.
Yeah, now a great old one is
So you
feeling
have
an
to-
emotion, and it's angry. And so that's going to mean a few things. Because normally, he's just greedy. That's his emotion. It's greed. But now it's greed and hatred.
Vinestra said, "Oh yeah, just so I can kinda think of stuff, what might some of the rough interview questions be about?"
It's gonna be the basic, almost like the border crossing questions of like, who are you? Where are you from? Are you here on business or pleasure? Where the fuck are you from? And also, are you a danger to the people I work for? It's that kind of shit. Very much. It's going to be the assumption of the guy interviewing you that you are here for no good reason, and your answers will dictate whether his mind changes.
Yeah, Whisper's kind of nosy. Love them, but they're nosy.
Yeah, so again, I apologize if the pacing was a little bit all over the place today. Pain did influence that very strongly, but I think this is a solid beat to use as a launch pad next week.
So they took it out on Menidna this whole time? That's why they've been distracted from us?
Yes.